some of those people who fled to Europe are escaping violence brought on by Daesh, but now the terror group is facing an assault on two fronts. The Iraqi armed forces are fighting to retake the city of Fallujah, west of Baghdad. And in Syria, the US-backed YPG and its allies have launched an offensive to drive out Daesh from its stronghold of Raqqa. Well, that alliance in Syria is dominated by the YPG, a branch of Turkey's outlawed PKK terror group, and is supported by US-led coalition airstrikes. Now, it's focusing on clearing the countryside north of Raqqa and have reported slight gains. Now, the alliance says it wants to protect the YPG-held cities of Shadadi, Kobani and Tel Abyad from continuous attack. The YPG and its allies have mobilized tens of thousands of fighters from the region for the assault. Well, Andrew Hopkins joins us now from Gaziantep on Turkey's Syrian border. So, Andrew, what's the latest on the Syrian Defence Force offensive in Raqqa?
Well, Kamali, as you mentioned, they say they've made some small gains overnight since they launched this offensive yesterday. But what we need to look out for in the next few days and weeks is that there's a military base on the outskirts of the city of Raqqa itself. And that's about 40 kilometers away from where the YPG, the SDF forces are now. So once it makes progress, reaches that particular point, there's a fight over that particular military base, then we'll know that some real progress is being made, and they're actually on the doorstep of Raqqa, quite a significant area for Daesh.
And just give us that significance then, Andrew. Why is Raqqa so totemic to Daesh?
Yeah, it's a very important place. It was taken by Daesh in 2013, has effectively become its capital for most of its operations in Syria and Iraq. It's very close to oil fields in Syria that it holds, so that's where it's getting a lot of its funding from. We've also seen in recent years that once it took Raqqa, it used Raqqa as a base for most of its operations. It's generally pushed out from the city to try and take other areas of the country to extend its reach and influence. But in recent months, we've seen the area that Daesh controls getting smaller and smaller. So once we see that these forces reach the outskirts of Raqqa, we can see that Daesh is experiencing some really severe problems.
And Andrew, just let's cross the border then and speak about the Iraqi offensive on Fallujah. How's that going?
Well, the government there, they say they have secured all of the countryside around the town. They've also taken the routes in and out of the town as well. So effectively, Daesh has nowhere to run, if you like. And they also say they've taken a suburb between an area called Al-Karma and the town itself. But just remember, this is part of a wider offensive operation by the Iraqi government to retake parts of the country which has been taken over by Daesh. At the end of last year, it said it took Ramadi, which is quite close to Fallujah. Now it's working on Fallujah itself, but also the biggest prize, if you like, is still out there. That's the city of Mosul, which is still under the control of Daesh and which is one of the largest cities in Iraq.
Absolutely. Well, Andrew, for now, from Gaziantep, thank you.